Hey, my friend, it's Melanie Ferguson, your host of Creatives on Fire, the podcast where I hope to inspire you to create a profitable six-figure following online. So turn it up and listen in to amazing stories of success, along with behind-the-scenes secrets and valuable tips from, you guessed it, Creatives on Fire. Hey, my sweet friend, Melanie here. I have a couple of questions for you. I want to ask you if you are struggling at all with overwhelm, feeling like you need to be in a million places, not having enough time. Maybe you struggle with feeling like you're not good enough. Or who am I? Who am I to be sharing this with my audience? That imposter syndrome that a lot of us struggle with. What about just knowing what the next step is you should take in your business? Does any of this resonate with you? If so, I'd love to invite you to Creatives on Fire Insiders. This is an amazing group of creatives who are finding success and growing their businesses together. It's designed to stop the overwhelm, to build your confidence, and to guide you through the next steps you should take in your business. A lot of our focus inside is on video and live video specifically, how to get good at it, how to really capitalize on the time that we spend in our businesses. If this sounds like anything that interests you, come spend some time with us, because let's face it, who you spend your time with matters. Check us out at creativesonfireinsiders.com. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the podcast. This week, we are going to take a quick kind of side trip to talk about something that I think is really, really overlooked when it comes to planning your goals for the next year. This is the time of year when a lot of people are taking stock in what they're going to have their business look like for the next year. And they fail to look at a couple of different things that I want to talk about here. And it's called energy vampires. Energy vampires. That is something that sounds like it comes from a horror movie, but it is kind of horrific. I mean, if you stop and think about it, what do you do on a daily basis that basically sucks the life out of you? That is an energy vampire. I just finished my coaching group and we talked about goals for 2022. And I started out by just asking them, what brings you energy? What is it that you do right now in your business that brings you energy? Really pumps you up, gets you excited, makes you ready to conquer the day. If you can figure that out, that is what you should be doing more of. That is what you should be putting down in your 2022 goals and focusing on. All the rest are probably energy vampires. I learned about energy vampires several years ago, and it's basically unavoidable at the beginning of your business sometimes. There are a lot of things when you just get started in business that you have to do because it's what makes the money. It's what gets things started. Maybe you don't like the starting of a blog and you have to set up the WordPress. You have to get the host. You have to learn how to make a post and how to market things. Maybe on social media, you don't like the steps that it takes to register your business and get your correct information on the platform. There are certain things that have to happen at the beginning of our businesses in order for them to be successful that are natural energy vampires. But that doesn't mean that's where we need to stay. What I'm talking about is after you've been in business for several months and you've tried something new for several months and it is not feeding you. It may be feeding you financially, but it is not feeding you emotionally and mentally. What is it in your business that you can pinpoint that is not fun and could be either tossed aside, hired out, or maybe even you could change yourself in order to make it work for you. So a lot of times when we look at our businesses, we say, or at least for myself, I say, people, 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 people. Other people give me energy. I always tell my husband when he says, why don't you just get on the treadmill? Well, because I like to exercise with other people. I like jazzercise because I can be in a room with other people doing the same thing. A lot of us get our energy from other people. I love, love, love the energy I get after being able to get off a coaching call and helping other people. I love the feeling I get after doing a live social media video and just interacting with all of the people. They can be so sweet. They can build us up. They can compliment us. They can point us in the right direction. They can be our friends. We can just have the best time with other people. And then there's the opposite. There's the energy vampires. And it's people. It's people. So it's almost an oxymoron. You have people that bring you energy and people who steal your energy. And sometimes they can be the same person. In business, what I'm asking you to do is decide what parts of your business bring you energy and what parts of your business steal your energy. So for me, things that steal my energy are details. And most creatives are just like that. You have no problem coming up with big, brand new ideas. You have no problem sharing them with the world. But when it comes to implementing or finishing or seeing through or getting down to the actual details, it becomes painful. So, what can you do about that? I can't just throw away every part of my business because they all have details to deal with. You can pick and choose how many you deal with. Maybe you have 5 parts of your business and 2 of them have a lot of detail work. Maybe you decide to drop those altogether because they don't bring you any joy. They don't bring you any energy. They don't fill you. They aren't sustainable because when the times get tough, you most likely are going to drop them anyway. Or you could hire that part out. I love this solution. And especially if it's a part of your business that's already making good money. If it's a part of your business that comes naturally and most people struggle with it and it's making money, but there's details or some part of it that you do not find fulfilling, you can hire those parts out. So what does that look like? Well, in real life, so I have a few memberships and one of my memberships is a little large. So I get requests in the membership to join the Facebook group, pretty much several every single week. And I have to stop every single thing I'm doing and go double check to see if that person has paid for the membership, and then go and try to match their email with their name. And a lot of times those 2 things don't match up. And then I have to go over to the Facebook group and see if they're already in there, put them in there if they're not in there, then go back and email them and say, hey, here's the link to the group. Click it. You should be in there now. I will tag you in a post, and then I have to go back to the Facebook group, tag them in the pinned post so that they can see they're in the right place. Well, let me just tell you, for a creative, that is a lot. And that's a lot of detail work. So what I found was it is much easier for me to hire someone who has no problem with doing that type of task for me. And I can still keep my membership and keep everyone happy by hiring out the details. Another solution for energy vampires is reflection. That sounds weird, but what I mean is just reflecting on yourself. If people give you energy and people take your energy, you can't do anything about that. Like, they are who they are. You can't change people ever. So you may have to change yourself. If you try lots of different things and nothing seems to work, you probably are the common denominator and you need to work on yourself. So let me tell you how that works in everyday life. If you are on a live video for social media and people are attacking you for the way you do something or something you said or how you complete something and it's just not the way they would have done it, or you could have done better. Trust me, we all get those comments. How you respond can actually bring you energy instead of the opposite, which would be allowing them to steal your energy and steal your joy. So instead of being upset by the person who maybe didn't even intentionally mean to hurt you, you can actually spin it around and either ignore them and just let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back, or you can address it with kind words, not passive aggressive words, but kind words. Like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for your comment. And not even addressing the comment. Or you can internalize it and just use it. There's a book out there that's called Go for No. And it's where you literally are looking for no's. So because you know, after so many no's, there's always a yes. Out of 10 answers and 9 no's, you will get a yes. It's always a numbers game. So maybe you are on a private personal mission to get a certain number of negative comments, and then you know you are going to have that many more views because of the engagement. And you can personally, internally thank that person for their negative comment because they are giving you the engagement that the algorithm needs to grow your page. So sometimes the energy vampires are a good thing and we need to embrace them and just reframe, restructure ourselves to accept them. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's helpful when it comes to just dealing with life, because people are always going to either build you up or tear you down. And whichever they do is up to you. It's like, you can always be right or always be wrong. The answer is always up to you and how you frame it, how you decide to internalize it. When you're looking at your plan for 2022, I hope that you take into consideration what is most precious in this life, and it is your energy. If you don't have energy to give to yourself at the end of the day, to take care of yourself, you won't be able to have the energy to take care of those around you, to take care of your family, which is why we mostly are doing this business in the first place. You won't have the energy by all means to pour back into the good things, the things that are giving us back energy. If we're constantly surrounding ourselves with platforms and parts of our business that steal our joy, steal our levels of energy, we won't have enough. We won't have enough for the good things. Sometimes you have to say no to the good things in order to get the great things. Let me say that again. Sometimes we have to say no to what we see as good things in order to make room and energy for the great things. Okay, I hope this podcast was helpful for you guys as you go forward and plan your 2022 goals and where you're going to put your time, your focus, and your good energy. And hopefully it'll be on things that will also reciprocate and bring joy and refreshed energy to your business so that you can sustain them, and that when we get back together this time next year, you will have met and exceeded all of these goals. Have a great day. Thank you so much, my friend, for listening to the podcast. I'm blessed every single time you come back and listen to an episode. It's especially amazing when you share it with others on social media. So be sure to follow Creatives on Fire online. Listen, if you have not already done so, I want you to go ahead and download the 5 ideas I personally used to explode my online audience growth to a 6-figure following. You can find that at creativesonfirepodcast.com. I appreciate you, and until next time, stay inspired.